right, we're here in an unnamed location in Arizona, and we're about to film the second half of this scene. But first, we're going to go through all the stuff that's going on this bike and that I was wearing.
Oh, yes! It's
Onboard air, ladies and gentlemen. That is massively satisfying. You know the good news? We still got to do another one.
Yeah.
Starting with the bike, this is the Diverge STR, the S-Works edition, from Specialized, obviously. Really psyched to be riding this bike this year, and especially here in Arizona. We've had a lot of washboard, and this has essentially a front and a rear suspension. You can lock both of them out. The front is the Future Shock that's just inside of the headset, essentially. The rear is right here inside of the top tube. The seat tube itself actually has a little bit of a flex in it, and then this is essentially just like a damper that's built into the top tube to give it a little bit of, so you don't get like the pogo stick action going on. But on washboard, absolute dreamboat. Second half of the suspension on this bike, and potentially even a more impactful one, are the wheels. These are the new 303 Explore gravel wheels from Zipp. It's actually comical when you look at how fat the rim profile is. So I've got 42s on here. These are the Sawtooth tires from Specialized. I've been going back and forth on this trip between the Sawtooth and the Pathfinder Pros. But they look humongous, like they're a 50 when they're sitting on this super wide rim profile, and they just ride. It's so incredible. They're so soft riding, you got a ton of grip. I can run them at like 25, 30 PSI, roll over everything, feel like I have a ton of squish. And I haven't been doing inserts. The hookless is like really not prone to pinch flatting. Slamming a rock, not pinch flatting your tube, obviously pinch flatting straight through the sidewall of the tire. And I just can't say enough good things about this wheel set. Drivetrain is all SRAM Red Explorer E-Tap, latest and greatest stuff. The new ergonomics on these hoods, I think that's honestly worth upgrading just all by itself. Even if nothing else was different with the shifting, the ergonomics of these hoods are just feel incredible, especially if you're doing longer days on the saddle. 40 tooth in the front, 1044 in the back. That's just like an incredible amount of range. You can really roll on the flats getting down to that 10 tooth, and then the 44. I mean, unless you're like hauling and you're bike packing, you're hauling an insane amount of stuff. I don't have to use that often, to be honest. Last awesome thing about this bike, don't really need to have a seat bag unless you're doing bike packing and getting real crazy. We've got traditional SWAT bag in here where I keep a CO2, a pump, darts for attaching seats, tubeless, and bonus second bag. So there's an insane amount of stuff that you can carry in this down tube. And I love that. Keeps the bike nice and clean if you're not going riding for 3 days straight. This thing is amazing. I feel like I've been waiting for this computer my whole life. Like at least every other time I turn it on, I discover a new little feature about it that I wanted. I either wanted or I didn't know that I wanted from the previous generation Roam. This is the Wahoo Element Ace. Basically on this, the touchscreen is incredibly good. The screen is huge. The contrast is really wonderful, but the ability to use it just like an iPhone, essentially, where I can now unlock the screen and I can just use my finger to drag around and look where I want to go on the map. And then I can drop a pin where I want to go and it'll route me there. On the previous generation, kind of had to use the buttons to navigate around, and it was a little bit cumbersome, but possible. And now with this, like it just feels so much more fluid and so much more intuitive. Pinch to zoom, the whole thing. You can have different layers here. There's a coffee shop, points of interest, custom waypoints. Strava live segments will actually pop up, so you'll get chevrons that show you where the Strava live segment is going. I have that fairly frequently on mountain bike rides where I want to go after Storm King uphill, and I get in the middle of the segment and I don't know if it goes left or right at the next thing, and then the only way you know is all of a sudden the live segment disappears and you have to go start over. So this will actually pop up if you have starred Strava segments and guide you along those without you have to necessarily be on a route. It'll also, if you're on a road where it's pretty obvious where you're supposed to go, there's not a lot of turns, it will give you the chevrons as you're going up a climb will be green, yellow, or red, depending on how steep the climb is. So you can kind of get like a view of, like, in another 100 meters, it's gonna get red, and then after that it goes green, and then it goes back to yellow, and you get an idea of the climb, just kind of like looking down at the computer really quickly. And that's not even like the bar graph that you're used to. That's just on the map overlaid. I absolutely love this thing. I could kind of go on about it way longer than we have time for, but you're just gonna have to go check it out and find out for yourself. It's been huge on this trip. This is the kit. This is between this jacket, this vest, and this shirt that I'm wearing. This is what I wear, I would say probably 80% of the year. Some combination of these things. This is, man, if you only buy one piece of cycling stuff in the next year, I think this should be it. This is the Unlimited Merino long sleeve, I think, as they call it, the Unlimited. These are definitely unlimited, but this is the Merino long sleeve. This pocket is not like a functional thing necessarily. I do use it for like some gummy bears and a gel and stuff like that. But this Merino fabric is just freaking incredible. I have, just for shits and giggles, done a run in the morning, a ski, and then a bike ride in the afternoon wearing this one thing. It doesn't get smelly. It feels incredible. It like moderates temperature in a million different environments, and I just can't say enough good stuff about it. I also wear it to dinner occasionally. If it's a little bit on the chilly side, then I'll put on the Unlimited vest. This is like this incredibly cool Tickle Me Elmo fuzzy material on the inside that is just wonderful. And get a little bit of wind protection, a little bit of warmth. It's got a couple pockets in it. That's the only downside of this jersey, is that it doesn't have pockets. So either gotta do a cargo bib or like a satchel, a fanny pack, or have the vest on. One step up from that, this is the jacket, same thing. Super nice fleecy interior. You just got sleeves on this, and this thing actually does incredibly well with the wind. It's not really a waterproof situation. I do have to do something different when it's raining out, but man, I really kind of have put the days of riding in a lot of rain behind me. I grew up in Portland and pretty over that. That is just, absolutely love this jacket. Castelli does make an unlimited bib that has a cargo pocket in it, but I am just so personally obsessed with these bibs. These are just every single day of my life I would wear these. Premio Black bib short. They have Castelli's nicest bib, Castelli's nicest chamois in them. They're like papery thin. They're not really warm, but that's not really what I'm going for with these. If it's super cold out, I'll put on some tights. And I just have like 3 or 4 pairs of these that I wear 100% of the time. I can't like emphasize enough that having a really good pair of bibs is, man, just life-changing. So Premio Black, dream. All right, that is it. This is the stuff that I use, that we used in the film, but that I also use every single day. Like logos worn off of this because I wear it so much. And I'm incredibly blessed to work with companies that have stuff that I absolutely love and would buy if it was, if I had to. So if you're in the market for anything, if any of this sounds awesome to you and you support these guys, that's awesome. Hope you enjoyed this.